Welcome to Audiobook Zone. We all want to improve our lives. Whether it's adopting healthier habits, advancing in our careers, or pursuing personal goals, change is something we all seek. Yet, many of us struggle to make these changes stick. We often start with the best intentions, but somewhere along the way, we lose motivation, face setbacks, or give up entirely. Why does this happen, and more importantly, how can we overcome these obstacles? In her book, Katy Milkman explores the science of behavior change and reveals that making lasting changes requires more than just willpower. The way we approach change matters, and by understanding the psychological barriers that prevent us from achieving our goals, we can apply strategies that make change easier. Milkman presents research-backed methods that help overcome challenges such as procrastination, a lack of motivation, bad habits, and impulsive decisions. This breakdown of her insights will guide you through key strategies that make change more achievable. We'll explore how to break the cycle of procrastination, how to build lasting habits, how to keep your motivation high, and how to use mental techniques to stay on track when obstacles arise. These ideas, based on the science of human behavior, offer a fresh and practical approach to making changes that last. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insights on how to improve your life and reach your goals. Let's get started. Number 1. Understanding why change is hard. The first step in creating change is to understand why change feels so difficult. Despite our best efforts, many of us struggle to make lasting improvements in our lives. This is because several common psychological obstacles prevent us from changing our behavior effectively. These include procrastination, impulsivity, and the tendency to stick with what feels familiar. Why do we resist change? Our brains are naturally wired to seek comfort and avoid discomfort. Change often requires stepping out of our comfort zone, which can feel overwhelming or intimidating. For instance, starting an exercise routine may feel difficult because it forces us to engage in physical effort, which our minds perceive as uncomfortable. This discomfort leads to resistance, making it easier to put off the change we want to make. Another major obstacle is procrastination. Often, when faced with a big or difficult task, we delay starting because we believe we'll be better prepared or more motivated in the future. For example, you might put off cleaning your home because it seems like too big a job, telling yourself you'll get to it tomorrow when you have more energy. This delay only makes the task feel bigger over time, increasing your resistance to it. The role of habits and familiarity. Another reason change feels hard is that we tend to stick to familiar routines, even when they don't serve us. This is known as the default effect, where we choose the easiest, most comfortable option, usually to do nothing or continue with our current habits. Habits form through repetition, so once you're used to doing something a certain way, it feels automatic. Good habits, like brushing your teeth, are beneficial because they happen without effort. However, bad habits, like mindless snacking or checking social media when you're supposed to work, can keep you stuck in a cycle that prevents positive change. Breaking free from bad habits and developing new ones requires intentional effort. The problem is that it's easier to fall back into old habits when we don't consciously try to change our behavior. By understanding these psychological barriers, we can begin to address the root causes that make change difficult. Number 2. Overcoming procrastination, using the fresh start effect. Procrastination is one of the most common barriers to change. It's easy to put off difficult tasks for another day, convincing ourselves that we'll be better prepared to tackle them later. But this delay creates a cycle where the task never gets done. One way to break this cycle is by using the fresh start effect. What is the fresh start effect? The fresh start effect is a psychological phenomenon where certain dates or moments in time give us a boost in motivation to start new habits or make changes. These fresh starts can include things like the beginning of a new year, a birthday, or even the start of a new week. These moments feel like an opportunity to turn the page and start fresh, which makes us more likely to take action on our goals. For example, many people make New Year's resolutions because the start of the year feels like a clean slate. Similarly, Mondays often feel like the beginning of a new week, giving people a renewed sense of motivation to start a diet, begin exercising, or tackle a new project. This effect helps to separate your past behavior from your future potential, creating a psychological break that motivates change. How to use the fresh start effect to your advantage. You don't have to wait for a new year or a major life event to create a fresh start. You can harness the fresh start effect anytime by creating your own fresh start moments. For instance, you might decide to start a new habit on the first day of the month or after a vacation. By choosing a meaningful time to begin, you can increase your motivation and feel more confident about making the change. One strategy is to set a specific date for beginning your new habit, like the start of the next week or the first day of a new season. This gives you a clear point to aim for and makes the change feel more significant. Additionally, you can create multiple fresh start moments throughout the year to keep yourself motivated. For example, every Monday could be a fresh start for your weekly fitness routine. By tying your new habits to these fresh start moments, you give yourself a psychological boost and increase your likelihood of following through. The fresh start effect makes change feel easier because it gives you a renewed sense of purpose and separates your current behavior from the habits you want to leave behind. Number 3. Building habits using temptation bundling. Building new habits can be challenging, especially when the behavior you want to adopt feels difficult or unpleasant. One effective strategy for making it easier to build habits is temptation bundling. This method helps you stay consistent by pairing an activity you want to do with something you already enjoy. What is temptation bundling? Temptation bundling is a technique where you combine a task you need to do but don't enjoy with an activity that you find fun or rewarding. The idea is to use the enjoyable activity as a reward for completing the task you're less motivated to do. By bundling the two activities together, you make the less enjoyable task more appealing. For instance, if you want to exercise more but find it boring, you could use temptation bundling by only allowing yourself to listen to your favorite music or podcast while you work out. This makes exercising something to look forward to because it's paired with an activity you enjoy. Over time, this positive association makes it easier to stick with your exercise routine. How to apply temptation bundling in your life. To use temptation bundling, start by identifying a habit you want to build and something you enjoy that can be paired with it. The key is to only allow yourself to indulge in the enjoyable activity while you're performing the desired habit. For example, if you're trying to build a habit of cooking at home more often but find it time-consuming, you could pair cooking with something you enjoy, like watching a TV show or listening to an audiobook. The rule is that you only get to enjoy the show or audiobook while you're cooking. This strategy makes the task of cooking more enjoyable and encourages you to stick to your new habit. Another example could be studying or working on a challenging project. If you find it hard to focus, you could bundle your work time with a treat, like drinking your favorite coffee or snack, but only while you're studying or working. The treat becomes a reward, making the less enjoyable task more manageable. By combining an activity that feels like a chore with one that feels like a reward, temptation bundling helps you build positive associations with the new habit. This method increases the likelihood that you'll stay consistent and make the habit stick over time. Number 4. Staying accountable with commitment devices. Motivation can be fleeting, especially when distractions and temptations arise. One effective way to stay on track with your goals is to use commitment devices. These tools help you stay accountable by creating systems that prevent you from giving in to short-term desires that derail your progress. What are commitment devices? Commitment devices are tools or strategies that help you stick to your goals by making it harder to stray from your plan. They work by creating a structure that either rewards you for reaching your goals or punishes you if you don't follow through. By setting up these systems in advance, you can reduce the chances of giving in to temptations or distractions. For example, you might set up a financial penalty for yourself if you fail to meet a certain goal. If your goal is to exercise 3 times a week, you could agree to donate money to a cause you don't support if you skip a workout. The fear of facing the penalty motivates you to stay consistent with your routine. How to use commitment devices effectively. There are many ways to use commitment devices to help you stay accountable. One approach is to make a public commitment to your goal by telling friends, family, or coworkers about it. When other people know about your goal, you're more likely to stick to it because you don't want to let them down or damage your reputation. Another strategy is to set up financial or social consequences for not following through. For instance, you could agree with a friend to donate a set amount of money to a charity if you don't reach your goal by a certain date. You might also use a reward system where you treat yourself to something special after reaching a milestone. Commitment devices work by creating clear consequences for your actions. Whether it's a financial penalty, a public promise, or a reward system, these tools provide extra motivation to stay focused on your goal. By making it harder to give in to short-term temptations, you increase your chances of successfully achieving long-term change. Number 5. Battling present bias, the tendency to choose immediate rewards. One of the most challenging psychological traps that people fall into when trying to make changes is known as present bias. This refers to the tendency to favor immediate rewards over long-term benefits. When faced with the choice between a short-term pleasure and a future reward, our brains often choose the immediate gratification, even if it conflicts with our long-term goals. What is present bias? Present bias occurs when we prioritize short-term satisfaction over long-term benefits. For example, you may know that saving money for retirement is important, but when presented with the option to spend money on something fun today, you might choose to enjoy the short-term pleasure rather than saving for your future. Similarly, you might know that eating healthy is important for your long-term health, but in the moment, indulging in a treat might seem more appealing. This bias can derail our efforts to make lasting changes because it pulls our focus away from the bigger picture. We end up making choices that provide instant gratification, even if they hurt our long-term progress. How to overcome present bias. One way to overcome present bias is to make future rewards feel more immediate. You can do this by visualizing the benefits of your actions in the future. For example, if you're trying to stick to a fitness routine, imagine how you'll feel in a few months when you're stronger, healthier, and more confident. By vividly picturing the future benefits, you make them feel more real and motivating in the present. Another approach is to automate good decisions so that you don't have to rely on willpower in the moment. For example, if you're trying to save money, set up an automatic transfer to a savings account each month so you don't have to decide to save. It happens automatically. By removing the need for a decision, you reduce the chances of giving in to present bias. Additionally, you can use small, immediate rewards to keep yourself motivated in the short term. For example, after completing a workout or sticking to your diet, you could reward yourself with a small treat or a relaxing activity. These rewards help create positive associations with the behavior, making it easier to stay consistent over time. By being mindful of present bias and using strategies to counteract it, you can stay focused on your long-term goals and avoid the trap of choosing short-term pleasures that undermine your progress. Number 6. Timing matters. Finding the right moment for change. Timing plays a crucial role in our ability to make lasting changes. Some moments in life are more conducive to change than others. Understanding how to use timing to your advantage can help you set yourself up for success and make the process of change feel smoother and more natural. The power of timing. Certain life events and transitions naturally provide opportunities for change. For example, starting a new job, moving to a new home, or the beginning of a new year are moments when we're more likely to reflect on our goals and make changes. These fresh start moments give us a psychological boost, making it easier to adopt new habits or pursue new goals. Even smaller timing cues, like the start of a new week or the beginning of a month, can provide the same motivational boost. Research shows that people are more likely to pursue goals and make changes at the beginning of a new time period because it feels like a fresh start. How to use timing to create change. To make the most of the power of timing, it's important to be intentional about when you start working on your goals. If you want to create lasting change, look for natural opportunities in your life that feel like a fresh start. These moments can include milestones like birthdays, holidays, or significant life transitions. By tying your new habit or goal to a meaningful time, you can increase your motivation and make the change feel more achievable. You can also create your own fresh start moments. For example, you might decide to begin a new exercise routine on the first day of the month or after a vacation. By choosing a specific date to start, you give yourself a psychological advantage, making it easier to commit to the change. Timing also applies to understanding when you're most productive or motivated. If you know that you're more energetic in the mornings, plan to tackle your most challenging tasks early in the day. By aligning your actions with the times when you're most likely to succeed, you increase your chances of staying consistent and making the change last. Number 7. Resilience. Bouncing back from setbacks. Setbacks are inevitable when you're trying to make lasting changes in your life. No matter how motivated you are or how well you plan, life will throw challenges your way. The key to long-term success is not avoiding setbacks altogether, but learning how to bounce back from them quickly and effectively. Why setbacks are part of the process. Setbacks happen for various reasons. Sometimes external factors like a busy work schedule, family responsibilities, or unexpected events can derail your progress. Other times, internal factors like a lack of motivation, self-doubt, or a bad mood can cause you to lose focus on your goals. The important thing to remember is that setbacks are a normal part of the change process. They don't mean you failed, and they don't mean you should give up on your goals. In fact, learning how to recover from setbacks is one of the most important skills you can develop on your journey to lasting change. How to recover from setbacks. The first step in recovering from a setback is to practice self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on yourself after a setback, thinking, "I failed," or "I'll never reach my goal." But self-criticism only makes it harder to get back on track. Instead, treat yourself with kindness and understanding. Remind yourself that setbacks are a normal part of the process and that one misstep doesn't erase all the progress you've made. Next, focus on learning from the setback. Ask yourself what went wrong and how you can adjust your approach moving forward. For example, if you missed a workout because your schedule was too hectic, you might consider adjusting your routine to fit exercise into a more convenient time of day. By reflecting on the setback and making changes, you increase your chances of staying on track in the future. Finally, remember that progress is not always linear. There will be ups and downs along the way, but what matters most is your ability to keep moving forward. Resilience is about getting back up after a setback and continuing to pursue your goals with determination. Number 8. Using social support to stay on track. One of the most powerful tools for making lasting changes is social support. When we have people around us who encourage, motivate, and hold us accountable, we're more likely to succeed. Having a supportive network can make the difference between sticking with a goal and giving up when things get tough. The power of accountability. Accountability is a key factor in maintaining motivation. When you share your goals with someone else, you create a sense of responsibility to follow through. This is because you don't want to disappoint the person who knows about your goal or damage your reputation. Knowing that someone else is invested in your success can push you to stay on track, even when you feel like giving up. For example, if you tell a friend that you're trying to quit smoking or exercise regularly, you're more likely to stick with it because you know they'll ask you about your progress. This accountability creates external pressure, which can help you stay focused and committed to your goal. How to build a support system. To make the most of social support, it's important to build a network of people who are encouraging and understanding. This can include friends, family, co-workers, or even online communities. Choose people who genuinely care about your success and who will offer positive reinforcement, not criticism, when you face challenges. One effective strategy is to find a change partner. This is someone who is working on similar goals and can act as both a motivator and accountability partner. For example, if you're trying to get in shape, you could find a workout buddy who exercises with you regularly. Knowing that someone else is counting on you to show up can increase your motivation and help you stay consistent. In addition to accountability, social support provides emotional encouragement. When you're feeling discouraged or facing setbacks, having someone to talk to can boost your morale and remind you of why you started in the first place. Number 9. Creating an environment that supports change. Your environment plays a significant role in shaping your behavior. Often, the physical spaces and social environments we spend time in influence our habits without us even realizing it. By designing an environment that supports your goals, you can make it easier to create lasting change. How your environment affects behavior. Our surroundings have a powerful impact on our decisions and actions. For example, if you're trying to eat healthier but your kitchen is full of junk food, it's harder to resist temptation. Similarly, if you're trying to focus on work but your workspace is cluttered or filled with distractions, it's harder to concentrate. The people around you also influence your behavior. If you spend time with people who engage in habits you're trying to break, like smoking, overeating, or procrastinating, it's harder to stay committed to your goals. On the other hand, if you're surrounded by people who share your goals and values, it becomes easier to stay motivated and on track. How to design an environment that supports your goals. To create an environment that supports change, start by making small adjustments to your physical space. For example, if you're trying to eat healthier, stock your kitchen with nutritious foods and remove unhealthy snacks from easy reach. If you're trying to exercise more, set up your workout clothes the night before so they're ready when you wake up. In addition to changing your physical environment, consider how your social environment impacts your behavior. Surround yourself with people who share similar goals or who are supportive of your efforts. If your current social circles are filled with people who engage in habits you're trying to avoid, it may be helpful to seek out new communities or groups that align with your values. By making your environment work for you rather than against you, you increase your chances of sticking to your goals and making lasting change. Your environment should make it easier to do the right thing, not harder. Number 10. The importance of self-reflection and tracking progress. One of the most effective ways to stay motivated and make progress toward your goals is through self-reflection and tracking. By regularly assessing your progress, you can identify what's working, what's not, and how you can improve your approach. Why self-reflection matters. Self-reflection allows you to step back and evaluate your behavior. It gives you the opportunity to see where you're making progress and where you might be falling short. Without regular self-reflection, it's easy to continue on autopilot without making meaningful improvements. For example, if you're trying to improve your time management, you might take time at the end of each week to reflect on how you spent your time. Did you stick to your schedule, or did you get distracted by non-essential tasks? By reflecting on your performance, you can identify patterns that are holding you back and adjust your approach moving forward. How to track your progress. Tracking your progress is a practical way to stay accountable and motivated. Whether you're working toward a fitness goal, saving money, or learning a new skill, keeping a record of your progress helps you stay focused and motivated. For example, if you're trying to exercise regularly, you could keep a workout journal where you log each session, noting how long you exercised and how you felt afterward. This record not only helps you see your progress over time, but also serves as a source of motivation when you're feeling discouraged. You can also use digital tools like apps or online trackers to monitor your progress. For example, if you're trying to save money, a budgeting app can help you track your spending and see how much you've saved toward your goal. The key is to find a tracking method that works for you and use it consistently to stay on track. Conclusion. Making lasting change is possible for everyone, but it requires more than just willpower. By understanding the psychological and behavioral barriers that hold us back, we can apply science-backed strategies to overcome them and achieve our goals. Change is not always easy, but by using these techniques, you can make the process smoother and more achievable. Remember that setbacks are part of the journey, and resilience is key to long-term success. By practicing self-compassion, learning from your mistakes, and staying focused on your goals, you can make lasting improvements in your life. Thank you for joining us today. If you found these insights helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Audiobook Zone for more content that helps you live a life of growth and purpose. See you in the next video.